So, video lights. I'm going to tell you why I think these are the best value lights available right now for under $200 because of everything that's included. I bought these lights, which we'll be talking about and doing the overview for, and then cutting back to this portion later, for $165.99. These are the Neewer 600 LED. If you're just looking for an easy way to get started with filming yourself or filming subjects, interviews, short videos, and other things that start to need professional lighting, and you want to take your videos to the next level without breaking the bank, I think these are a great solution, a great option that you should really consider. They go from 3200 Kelvin to 5600 Kelvin. They come with everything that you really need to get them up and running and getting great content out of it without needing to purchase anything additional, being that it comes with the stands, the batteries, the power supply, and the brightness power of the actual lights itself being good too. Check out these lights. There is an affiliate link down below. Checking it out, using that link helps support the channel, helps me create more content. I'll let you know what I think about them, the initial impressions with setting them up, and the different use cases that I have for them, why I picked them out, as well as some of the competing options when we look on Amazon a bit later too. We're gonna start with the unboxing, and then we're gonna do a bit of the setup, and then we'll come back here and talk about some of those first impressions, some of the things I like about them so far, as well as why I think you guys might want to check them out too. Nice. Already managed to penetrate that nicely. One of the main reasons I got this, that it comes with the batteries. volume detector off. I'm going to unscrew this, and that should allow me to access that bottom part, because I want to mount this ball joint, adapter head, whatever, to the top of the tripod like that. Loosening the legs, opening said legs, and we've got the batteries inserted as we saw earlier. Carefully turn the light on, tightening this part here, extra tight. Take the ball joint. Open. Open, open. Boom. That's pretty bright. We got the second light on there. A little tricky to see the light, but there it is. Set up on the stand using my tripod and my Moza slide pod as a bit of a boom, but very bright. We do have the old light that I have here, the one that I was telling you about, the ones that are RGB. So we turn this one off. You can see pretty dramatic difference there. Turn the other one off so you can see what we're working with. This other light here, turn it on. It's on 0%, 5600 Kelvin. The barn doors do feel a little flimsy. They could probably snap or crack pretty easily if you're not careful. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. The other thing that is cool and that I've never had the practice doing is that you can shape your light, control kind of its direction, where it's landing and what it's hitting. Something I definitely want to learn more about. So 5600 Kelvin, we can change it 55. Feels brighter as we 4100 Kelvin feels the brightest. And I'd be curious to see the warmer it gets. 3200 up to 4000 gets a little brighter. 4100 again, 4200 feels the brightest. And as we get to 5600 Kelvin again, it loses that brightness. And I'd be curious if some of this has to do with it either being plugged in or not. With my new setup here of conveniently located power plugs, allowing me to more easily charge my gear as I need it. One of the biggest frustrations with my previous setup was things dying or being too far away from a plug or charger, especially with these lights. The short power supply that I had for them, that I got for them, limited my ability to have them plugged in. I know with those, they were actually brighter when they were plugged in, so I want to see if that's the case here as well. Again, for comparison, this is it on batteries. Let's see if we switch over to. But it certainly feels to me like when we're on 3200 Kelvin, it is brighter with it plugged in. The fact as well that this is pretty long gives you some pretty good range. It doesn't appear that these will charge the battery. I would think at first that plugging it in, like you would with a phone, for example, plugging it in and using it, you'd be charging it at the same time. However, with those, you'd have to put them in their separate charger unit here in order to charge it, as opposed to it charging off the power supply, which you'd think would make sense. The thing I wanted to see with this other light here, as I bring it around, I want to see if I unplug that. So I noticed the battery level went down, but the brightness doesn't seem to have changed. The battery indicator, you'll notice, will go from 2 to 1 bar, but the brightness doesn't change. 2 bars. When I would plug in the old lights, it wasn't like a different mode where I'd switch from battery to power supply. It would just automatically get brighter and just run off of that, and again, not charge the batteries. So 100%, we'll start with 5600 Kelvin. It feels brighter. Yeah. Like if this is 100%, it's 100% feels like it's 80% for the other light on battery. We're on the battery mode here. 80, 90, 100, I'm not seeing a difference. And let's just try 4600 Kelvin. 80, 90, 100. I do see a difference there. 4000, 80, 90, 100, I do see a difference. For a quick demonstration, I'll try to light myself really quickly. And so with about 5 minutes of setting it up, I have one light right here, which I've kind of shaped a little bit. The leftmost door I've kind of shaped so it's not fully extended like that, kind of closed a little bit, just again kind of controlling where that light goes. This is just me playing around right now. I have this set to like maybe 40% brightness. It's cool. I like the fact that I can light myself really well as the subject, keep the background kind of dark, and it really accents the lights in the background there pretty well. I keep looking down here because I've also just recently set up the field monitor down there so I can kind of see as I'm talking about to make sure I am in frame. Over to the left here, I have the barn door closed a little bit, and it's not making a whole lot of a difference. You can see where it's starting to light my arm, and now my face is kind of dark, so we kind of got more of that moody, dramatic look. And again, I didn't really test this out. This was just done really quickly here, but I kind of like this. So if I stand relatively close to the camera here and look into it, where the center, I'd be center like here, so you can see. For all of this, I think this probably right now is the best value light setup that you can get. I do a lot of interviews and testimonial videos and things like that where I need to light my subjects, but at the same time, I don't want to carry around a lot of gear. These were my first real lights, and it's what I've been using in the past as far as lighting myself. I have it like pretty close to me. I mean, you can see they get bright as well. These were my first big boy lights. They're small, they were cheap and budget ones, but they were really good. And again, these came with batteries, which is another one of the reasons that I got them. They did not come with the stands. I had the stands from previous purchase actually. You can see how much bigger these two are, and if I adjust it a little bit, it's no surprise that this one on the left is going to allow for a lot more flexibility. So if I set them both to 3300 Kelvin, this is like maybe 60% larger. Having the combination of lights now is going to be really great. I can now use these for their more unique feature of, hold this down, RGB colors. So if I want to get fancy with the interview, if it calls for it, I can have these lights do their thing off in the background. So right now I have it cycling through because these lights are primarily for the main lights now. I don't need them to have that RGB effect, although I could get gel diffusers on them at a future point. So for example, if I stop it on purple right there, I think this is a pretty cool look, and it took me about 5 minutes to set up. Granted, I mean, everything is a lot bigger now. The tripods are bigger, the lights are bigger. It takes up more space, so I could see that as potentially being a downside. I conveniently put the mic to my left here, so I now use the Zoom H1N1? No, I use the Zoom H1N microphone now, and I don't even bother putting a lapel on. I feel like it sounds pretty good without needing much post-editing. Everything goes back to ease of setup. These are bright. They don't really need anything to accompany them. In the right setting, these work pretty well, and like I said, are they the best lights? No, but they're the best budget lights for under a certain price point. That price point being $200, I would say. Like everything that I do on the channel here, I always look for the best value within a certain budget, and I don't like having to spend an exorbitant amount. I always feel like there are diminishing returns, like a lot of things in life, that you go past a certain point, you're maybe getting an extra 10 or 20% gains for an additional 50, 60, 70, 100% cost. So if I'm paying twice the amount for just 20% gains, it doesn't really work out. So I'm looking for that sweet spot here. I definitely like the fact that it includes everything. These lights were previously like my idea of the best value lights. What's great for them, the fact that they're RGB, so you don't need gels or anything. They're just good out of the box. In that case, I'd say these are really good. And I think the combination of these lights is really great here. This was just meant to be the quick unboxing of what's included with it, and why I think that if you're considering these lights, here's why you should compared to other offers. Back to the order itself, like I said, I got it for $165.99. It actually goes for $160.99. I bought these about like 15 days ago. I just haven't had a chance to unbox or review them yet. The batteries themselves, like if we just look at the batteries, the battery pack itself, the same ones as that with the charger. This is the Neewer brand, so I'm assuming it's probably apples to apples. $31, so about $15 each for the batteries. So if we consider that we have 4 there, 15 times 4, that's $60 in value just in the batteries that a lot of other light combos don't offer. So if we think about it that way, can you find these 600 LED lights, the 2 of them with the power supply, the bag, the 2 stands for $100? You can't. I'd say the next level up from this is the 660 LED model, which goes for $250, the Neewer 2-pack. That's similar in terms of what's included. The batteries are bigger, 3,360 lumen. That's a decent amount brighter than this if this is in fact only 2,200 lumens. But factor that in. I mean, again, it comes down to what are your needs? If this is bright enough for you, then do you need to spend the extra $100 to get it maybe 30% brighter? Perhaps. It depends on your use case. The thing I want to point out, however, is determine what specs you need, first of all, and then see what products meet those specs, and then see like, oh, maybe if I stretch my budget a little bit more, then I can get this product which may give me some other use cases out of it. That's kind of similar to these lights here again. I can get small ones like this, which will be good enough for filming me like this perhaps, which won't be good for interviews, however, but that's a good place to wrap it up. Pretty cool lights, good value. If you're interested in other tech, gear, camera related, light related reviews, I have a lot more coming up, especially with this whole stay indoors period of time that we're all dealing with and trying to get through safely. It's gonna allow me to kind of catch up to the old content that's kind of been on the back burner for a while, but I have a couple more gimbal reviews, a couple more light reviews, and some other lens reviews coming up for the Fujifilm too. So be sure to subscribe if you like the content, help support the channel. Like I said, check out the affiliate link down below. And until next time, guys, peace.